Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Retro84Cast. My name's Dom and I'm the host of this crazy train. With me this week is Aaron.
Hey, how's it going?
Don't have a nickname for you this week.
Oh.
And we've also got Patrick. How you doing, Patrick?
Alright.
Cool. So this is the second episode. I think pretty pleased with the first one.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm glad we actually got one up and running. It's more difficult than you think, isn't it? When we do video video shows every week on the YouTube channel, and I guess you've got that down to a fine art. But then when we had the prospect of getting 3 or more people to cooperate and kind of get the audio sorted, then
I'm still wrestling with iTunes as well. The goal is still to get everything on iTunes, but it's a nightmare.
It's a tube cast at the moment.
Yeah. So I guess same as last week, we'll start by going over anything gaming related or Retro84 Facebook group related that people wanted to talk about. I know I've got a few things, but if anyone wants to start,
I'll just say a few things. I don't know if people saw on the group. I was really excited. I ordered Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds for 3DS, and I got it through trading things in. So I decided to try the online service for once. And they had 2 prices. They had a pre-owned price and a new price. Strangely, they were the same. Mm-hmm. So that kind of should have set alarm bells ringing at first. But I obviously chose the new one for delivery. And when it turned up, I wasn't happy because not only was it not factory sealed, it was banged up all to hell. Like sticker residue all over it. Yeah. And the only thing, I guess, that they, classifies it as new for them now is the fact that they put their own kind of warranty sticker over the place where the clamshell opens. So I talked about it with Dom, and I was a bit despondent. I was like, I just want to play it. In the end, I decided, quite rightly, just to send it back with a note saying, send me one that's actually new, as in factory sealed, or refund me. I still haven't played Zelda. I'm not too happy about that, but hopefully they send it back. I can't think of much else.
The one game you wanted to play, you couldn't play.
No. I briefly nipped to a car boot this morning.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know we were going. But we kind of went, and it was bigger than I thought. I got a few bits. I actually almost spent all my money until I came to the very last stall. And I saw something I'd never seen at a car boot before, which was like boxed N64 games. And I just thought to myself, this is going to be crazy money because they're going to ask like 40, 50 quid.
Did the seller look like they knew what they were selling?
No idea. It was the very last store.
Paint us a picture with words.
They had a big white van. There was a bunch of stuff that had no relation to gaming, cables, a pot, and then it came to the end and I looked at them and picked them up. I thought for a moment that they were either fake or it was something somebody picked up and accidentally left on the store and belonged to the store. There was FIFA, which I left. It was boxed and complete, but I left it because I don't like sports games.
Yeah, still FIFA.
That's probably going to pain some people, but yeah, it's still there. Turok Dinosaur Hunter.
Oh, you should have picked that up.
Oh, you should have.
Boxed and complete for £5. But
what?
I didn't have any money left at that point.
No.
It was actually, but the thing is, I'll tell you another reason why I didn't buy it, and I would have borrowed money. She said £2 for every game,
right? And
then because of what happened next, she then upped the price to £5. So I said to her, I thought you said £2. She's like, no, this one's £5. Basically, the other 2 games I picked up were boxed Mario 64 and boxed Mario Kart 64, complete with baggy warranty card, instruction manual, inserts. But when I picked them up to look at them, no games inside. To which point she said someone must have pinched them. They went scratching around on the store to try and find them. And I don't actually... This is the kicker. She wanted £2 for it in what her mind was a complete game. And then I was really disappointed that it wasn't... I mean, let's be honest. The game is not the rare part. The box, the inserts, the being complete, even with the little cart baggie is the rare part. But I said, oh, yeah, that's really disappointing. If you want to sell me the boxes, I'll take them off your hands. So, yeah, I basically got everything but the cart of Mario 64 and Mario Kart 64 for £1 each. It which I thought wasn't too bad.
Yep.
Because especially since you can pick the cart up for relatively cheap.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
There's so many copies of Mario 64 out there, so hopefully
Yeah, and
you got to pick up a cheap loose cart and just rehome it.
I think for £1 it was worth a punt.
Yeah,
I got Mario Kart DS for £3.
it's pretty cool too.
Deal.
And I got a bunch of PS2 games for 20p each.
Really?
But they were the reason I sound dead picky, don't I, for 20p. But the reason I bought them is because they were complete and really clean discs. So I got Tekken 4, San Andreas, and Tomb Raider Anniversary for 20p each, which isn't bad.
Pretty good.
But yeah, that was it. That was a very brief run around a car booth that I wasn't expecting this morning.
Yeah, for saying that you weren't expecting to go.
Yeah,
those two
five
N64
spent,
boxes alone are worth the trip.
Yeah.
But
it was quite funny because it was the last store, and the 2 stores before the end, I saw someone with some plug and plays. I don't know if you know what I mean by plug and plays. They're kind of mini versions of consoles that you plug directly into your TV and are powered by batteries.
Sega did a bunch, right?
Yeah, so the Mega Drive one was one of them, and I don't know what was on it, but it's shaped like a Mega Drive controller.
Yeah,
and it's got AV out jacks to a TV, so there must be some built-in games or something.
I'm pretty sure I remember seeing those in like HMV or Toys R Us a few years ago, and I think it was like Sonic and
they've got
the usual Sonic.
The problem is they've notoriously got quite bad emulation of these games, bad sound. Sometimes if they actually have a cart. I think there's one they call like a Genesis 3 or 4.
Oh yeah.
There was like a cut down version sold by Argos, and that's got a cart slot on it. But the compatibility with the games, because it's a system on a chip rather than a hardware clone, is sometimes quite poor. Like some games just won't work on them.
Yeah.
Anyway, and there was that, and there was a Namco one, and to be honest, I got them down to like £3 for both of them. But it was my last £3.
Yeah.
And then the store down was these N64 boxes. So
yeah, I think
it's funny how it works.
Yeah. It might not seem that exciting to have 2 empty boxes, 2 empty cardboard boxes, but it's nice. Like, it would definitely make me seek out those carts more to have a complete thing.
Yeah, I mean, despite being made of paper and being really brittle, the N64 boxes are really nice. There's art on every single side. The panels have art on the top, back, left side, which is ironic because the N64 carts themselves, if you put them on a shelf, you have no idea what the games are. So they made a really nice looking box, which disintegrates on contact, and then a cart that can't be identified.
Doesn't even have a top label.
No. People sell them.
I've seen them online.
There was a website I saw that was selling an entire, 540 sheet end labels that you could stick on your N64 cards. But yeah, I guess Famicom's the same, right?
Yeah.
Famicom doesn't have top labels. You have to literally pull them out.
The NES does, though.
NES does.
I'm trying to think. Sega were pretty good with that,
don't.
right?
Oh no, Genesis does.
Yeah, Genesis does. Both Master System and Mega Drive have top labels, don't they?
Master System doesn't have a top label.
Master System doesn't, no.
Just on the cart. But it's not so much of a problem with Sega games because Sega, in their wisdom, made proper boxes that last for a million years. I mean, it's way easier.
Completely destroys the environment, but you're never going to find
a
top box.
It's worth it.
They don't make plastics like those for human consumption anymore. But yeah, as you know, it's far easier to find a box Mega Drive than a Super Nintendo box game.
Yeah.
Until today, I'd never seen in the wild an N64 box. That's the first for me.
We'll see some today then. Me and Aaron are taking a trip to some retro stores today.
Nice.
But the problem is, particularly N64 games, they're at like their height of nostalgia, I think, for people. Like people who played those as a kid are now getting to the point where they're desperate to have those games again. So if you go to a proper retro store or retro gaming store, the markup on N64 games, particularly box ones, is huge. Was
that your generation? What was your first kind of?
I only knew one kid that had an N64, but I have like fond memories of playing like Pokemon Snap. He had, and he had the Pikachu system. I guess they were packed in, and I thought it was so cool. But it was always really alien to me with the
optic analog.
Yeah, like at the time, because I think. We had PlayStation, and I don't even think I particularly understood the analog stick on the PlayStation. So, like, I would just use the D-pad all the time. So
Ape Escape was actually one of the first PlayStation games I remember using an analog stick.
Well, I think it was the first you could use it for in the West. Yeah, I think so.
They patched Metal Gear, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because it came out without it, and then, or did it end up supporting it, or was there a DualShock version of Metal Gear?
So I think the way that happened was they, late in the development, added DualShock support, or analog support, once they knew that Sony was developing the analog controller.
Okay.
But the Metal Gear game, I believe, came out before the analog controller was available.
Sneaky.
So I think it was already on there. I might be completely off the mark with that, but I'm fairly certain I read.
Is it something like it wasn't there in the demo, but it was there in the retail game?
Yeah.
Or something? Because we played that demo to death, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, and that definitely didn't have it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll look up in detail about that, because I don't want to be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Yeah, as far as I can remember, that's all I've done this week, though.
Cool. That's definitely more than I've done. I'll let you know when I get around to it. But first, Patrick, did you do much gaming this week?
No. I'm waiting for my games to come from eBay.
Oh, have you been?
The whole week
has
just been waiting. All I've got are two joysticks. That's about it.
Are you sitting by the door like Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cross-legged in front of the door. Wait, so controllers for
joysticks for the Mega Drive, the Power Arcade ones.
Oh, neat.
Really nice.
Are they the ones with the metal bottoms? They're quite heavy.
Yes, yeah, they're quite heavy, quite solid.
What game is your first one on your list to play with that joystick?
Gauntlet 4.
Oh, right, okay. Wait, was that picture you showed us on the group like a picture from a listing then, or something?
No, all the pictures I put on there are from my own room.
Oh, nice.
You're looking at my chair.
I hear you got an embarrassing medical problem with your joystick.
Yeah, my joystick's a bit squeaky. Yeah, makes a bit of a noise when I tug at it.
So I remember it was Castrol grease that I used on my Saturn arcade stick. It was doing exactly the same thing. It felt as though it was cheaply made because it was doing the squeak. So all I did was like, it's metal against plastic. There's nothing there. So you just literally get some Castrol grease and then put it on, and then it makes it really smooth again. And then Castrol grease won't harm the electrical components or anything either. So, and it doesn't dry out. Some people suggest using ridiculous things like olive oil or
olive oil. Really?
Yeah, no.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah, I mean it's a quick fix, but it just dries out and goes all gunky and makes it worse than before. So proper grease up your old joystick and you'll be
get a bit of lubricant on it. I'll sort of that. Fair enough.
So just pretty much waiting around for that. So have they arrived now? Have you got the joysticks now?
I've got the joysticks.
Yeah.
The two joysticks.
Cool. Yeah.
One's squeaky, one isn't.
Nice.
It's probably worth giving them I honestly think you won't be able to break them if you open them up. They're built like old technology like that is very difficult to, unless you throw it at a wall. It'd probably still be okay if you threw it at a wall, but I would open it up and then just deep clean it as well. So, especially since it's something you kind of laying your hands on and you're kind of like, I don't know. I just like to clean controllers before I use them. If I'm going to move them on, fair enough. But if it's going to be like my controller to use, there's no harm in just opening it up, chucking the plastic bits in a sink, scrubbing them with a toothbrush, letting them dry, putting them back together. It just kind of makes it feel fresh, and it's also more sanitary, I guess. Yeah, because you don't know where these things have been.
That's a dreadful thought.
Yeah. So if you haven't really been playing much, I'll move on to me. But mine isn't. I haven't really been playing much this week. I spent a little bit of time with a Game Boy Color game that I had never played before, but heard a lot about, and it was a pretty cool experience. I've been playing Stranded Kids for Game Boy Color, which is the weirdest name ever for a video game.
When Dom told me he'd been playing with Stranded Kids, I was slightly concerned.
Featuring Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's a game.
So it's a Konami game, and it's kind of an RPG. Maybe it gets a little bit more of a traditional RPG the later on you get, but up to now, the closest thing I could compare it to, weirdly, is something like Minecraft or like DayZ, like one of those new, PC survival games. I don't know why I said horror. So basically, you play as either a boy or a girl. You can give yourself a name, and the story starts out with you being on a ship with your dad, and something happens, the ship breaks apart, and you wake up on a beach on a deserted island. And there's not really much more narrative or like handholdy stuff from that point onwards. They just leave you on the island. It really doesn't tell you anything. Like, I found my backpack, and in my backpack there was a knife, and I used the knife to cut down grass. It looks a lot like the top-down Zeldas. Like, it moves screen by screen, and
Do you have that same kind of cutesy art style?
Yeah, definitely. And you can cut down grass and stuff like that, like you can in Zelda. Yeah, but the really weird thing is that it seems like it's got really, really deep, like, survival mechanics. Like, or it might be a little bit too early to say this, but on the first beach, you find, like, oysters. But the oysters, you can't eat them raw. So if you try and eat one raw, like, your stomach gets bad, and, like, you've got food and water meters. Mm-hmm. And it seems really like one of these,
Quite ambitious for the Game Boy.
Yeah, definitely. But it looks great, and the sound's really, really cool. I was actually playing it on the Game Boy Pocket, but I'm going to try it out on, a colour screen with a backlight and properly sit down and play it. But really, that was all I've been playing this week. I did that little stupid mascot for the Granger Games competition on Facebook.
If you haven't voted
amazing.
for Dom's Game Kid in Granger Games, please do so now.
Yes.
Was that like your mandatory...
Or Mario will get it.
Your terrorist hostage taking.
I really should have just pitched it like, if you want Mario to be unharmed, vote in this competition.
Tied to a chair with like scissors
at
his throat or something.
Quickly, draw up an image. Mario tied to a chair. Bruises and cuts along the eye.
It wasn't our only competition on the group though this week.
No, we went from potentially having none to having two, which was cool.
I gotta say, mine was a bit of a hasty pickup. I was like, what can I give away? What can I give away? And then the charity tab, I saw little Mario.
Wait, you're telling me that Freebie Friday isn't planned out months in advance? That was how I was.
Oh, well, life gets in the way.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't have infinite amounts of free stuff to give
That's
away.
true.
The problem is if I don't go to car boots, which I haven't been doing for a while, and even when we did go, it's kind of the end of the season, and there's bugger all to find.
Yeah.
It's tough to get stuff to give away. I mean, I'm literally, anything of value that I don't care about, as much as anything else is just I've sold to make money because I can't afford to keep this habit going. But yeah, I mean, that Mario doll's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really well made. I'm not one for soft toys. I refuse to call them plush toys because I hate that word. But it's quite well made.
Do you prefer, or even do you have even stronger dislike for the word plushy?
Plushy just reminds me of slushy, which in turn reminds me of a slushy that I saw once that had noodles in it.
Oh.
Excuse me?
Yeah, there was a promotion in 7-Eleven one year when I lived in Taiwan. It was like a summer slushy, and it was like you slushy, but they had instant noodles on the top. There's like sprinkles.
Oh, like you crunch them like crispy.
Yeah, you crunch them up and you mix them in with your slushy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So you're sucking soggy noodles up your straw with your iced blue.
Summer slushy is weird because I associate slushies with summer already. I don't particularly associate noodles with summer though.
Well, I guess that's how it is.
Yeah. So if you were to find, because is the slushy mascot still that little dog?
It's like a dog with a beanie hat.
If you were to find a slushy plushie, what would you do?
Oh.
My brain just died a little bit when you said slushy plushie.
No, you said
Take a
it too.
deep breath. Take a deep breath.
No, let's just move on.
Well, let's talk about the Game Club game this week.
All right.
So,
the one that didn't actually get around to playing.
Well, I've got a lot to talk about
Yeah,
in regards to this. But Patrick, do you want to tell everyone what the Game Club game was?
Pugsy for the Mega Drive.
Yep, for Mega Drive.
That's the cat, right?
What?
Oh no, that's Bubsy.
Oh.
It's the yellow bear with the eye patch.
We do not talk about that. We do not talk about Bubsy. Rule number 1.
Bubsy.
Don't talk about the
I got a
Antichrist
yarn
Mega
to
Drive.
tell about Bubsy.
What does that even mean? Yeah, so Pugsy for Mega Drive It's a Traveler's Tales Signosis joint. Did you play this game back in the day, Patrick?
Yes, it belonged to a friend of mine, and obviously, as the tradition goes, you borrow games, you lend him some, you lend yours.
Yep.
Lends his to you. Pugsy was one of them. So I've only known it for a week in my childhood, but
Okay. Did it leave a lasting impression?
it left a lasting impression. I mean,
Was it the Mega Drive version that you played, or was it?
It was the Mega Drive version I played.
Right.
I loved it, and just the fact there was so many different secret levels, different alternative paths. Music's fantastic. Just a nice little game just to pot around.
Did you ever manage to finish it?
No.
Yeah, it
I'm
gets
still
tough
stuck
real
on a
quick.
level.
Yeah, it gets really tough really fast.
As someone who's never played this, just briefly explain the mechanics of this game.
All right, so I'll try my best.
Okay.
Patrick might be able to give a bit more information than me. But essentially, you are Pugsy the alien,
right,
who has landed on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And, you get a standard little kind of Mario overworld.
All right.
Move around. You start off at the beach, and the levels are or at least to begin with, are very short. It's just a case of teaching you the mechanics. But you have the ability to pick things up. So on the first level, you pick up a shell, and you can move it around. You can change the height. You can have high position, middle position, and low position with the items, which helps you navigate terrain, I guess. But every object that you pick up has physics, so you can throw them around. You can jump on them. They bang off other things, and essentially the goal is just to get to the end. But there's things like keys for chests and money, and you get rewards for carrying certain things to the end.
It sounds like a kind of a slow-paced platformer.
Yeah, I mean you move fairly slowly. There's a lot of thinking and stacking things up and getting to positions.
See, in the era of Sonic the Hedgehog, the guys at Psygnosis just thought, no, it's not for us. Let's slow down. Less aerodynamic a character.
Yeah.
less speed, more brains.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting. I don't know whether you know, but Traveler's Tales went on to make the Lego games, right? Like Lego Star Wars and things like that, which I really, I definitely enjoyed the first Lego Star Wars game. But it sort of reminded me of those games, and I'm not sure why. I think it's the fact that you are kind of slowly moving through, and you kind of make progress as you move along. There's a lot of setting stuff up.
Lots of building.
Yeah,
building things to help you out. Building
definitely
means to overcome an obstacle. That's not as free form as Pugsy was.
That's a lot more linear.
Set locations. You can only place a ladder here, not over there.
So I actually spent the vast majority of my time just messing around with the physics. There's so many stacks of barrels, and you can take one from the bottom, and then you'll have two on top of each other, and you can throw them both. And that's still really fun to do today. It works really, really nicely.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah.
Do a few trick shots against enemies, throw a barrel at them while on the move, or there's so many ways just to handle them.
Didn't you say there was a Mega CD version of this?
There is a Mega CD version. Managed to pick it up on eBay pretty cheap.
What was the difference?
There's more bosses. I think there's about 3 more bosses. The beach has its own boss now.
Alright.
I believe there's the second castle in the game, which is the giant skull, has its own boss. And then there's one near the end of the game which uses FMV as a boss.
Oh wow! Wait, what?
It's weird.
How does that play?
Just fighting the concept.
The whole background is FMV, and you're still playing as this as Pugsy.
Wow!
And it looks off.
Yeah,
you got this clear image of Pugsy against a background of fuzzy video that the Mega CD was known for.
Yeah, because you couldn't have a Mega CD game without some full motion video in there somewhere.
It seems to be law, I think.
Yeah.
All the cutscenes in Pugsy were FMV as well, and for some reason they failed to make sense in the Mega CD version.
I think
So-
probably people were just so wowed by the fact there was moving images on
Yeah.
a Mega CD. I think
Yeah.
a lot of things take liberties on the Mega CD just
Yeah.
because it's like, ooh, video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marky Marks, I'm making the video.
Oh yeah, yeah. I heard about that.
Music's decent though.
Yeah, the
Music's
music's
decent.
the music's awesome. Is the music any different on the Mega CD one?
It's that most of the music's the same, but with CD quality. So,
Hmm.
which is very nice touch.
Yeah. The music is fantastic. Like doing these game clubs has made me realize how good the Master System and the Mega Drive music was. It's so underrated. Like the
There's
music in this is fantastic.
Mega Drive Audio catches a lot of flack when you compare it to Super Nintendo.
I really love
Such
that.
an unfair label. Such an unfair label.
It's a different kind of sound, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
it's
it
kind
is.
of deeper, kind of more bassy.
Yeah.
You know, kind of a lot of fwa.
Ugh.
Yeah.
A lot of people will point to games that really fail to make use of the hardware and
Mm.
say, look, the Mega Drive can't do music. Then they don't look at some of the
And-
games like Pugsy,
Yeah, anybody who says that needs to look at Sonic 3.
Sonic 3. Oh,
It's got
Fantastic.
incredible soundtrack. I listen to that like by itself, you know, the Ice Cap Zone or the, you know.
Ice Cap.
I still honestly some of the songs from Snatcher. I know it's a Mega CD game. Are my favorite video game music of all time. Like just such cool sound.
So is it a Mega CD 2 you've got, Patrick?
Yeah, Mega CD 2, top loader on the side.
Connected to
Mega Drive 2.
Nice.
So,
How many Mega Drives have you got then? Because
how long we got? I got two there. I've got the Mega Drive on the Mega CD
you're just
there.
surrounded by them like a command station.
I know I have another Mega Drive 1 somewhere. I've got two Mega Drive 2s in the drawer over there. So 7 maybe.
Wow. That's a lot of Mega Drive.
I don't buy them just so I can say, look how many I've got. You go to a car boot and people are adamant that they want to sell the thing off as a bundle with the games.
Right.
You're just waiting for that day when someone says at the car boot, I think it's a Mega Drive. It looks a bit like a CD player, though. It's probably a CD player. I don't know.
It looks like it has a CD player underneath that.
Yeah.
I was mainly thinking about the what is it called, the Multi Mega.
Yeah.
This it literally looks like one of those early portable CD players, isn't it? But it's a Mega Drive and a Mega CD combined. You know what I'm talking about, Patrick?
The Multi Mega, yeah, it's a compact little thing, isn't it?
Did they come out
Quite nifty.
in PAL territories?
Yeah, I remember seeing one in Comet
Huh.
when Comet was in the town centre.
Oh, really?
And the selling point was that it is actually also a portable CD because the whole thing's powered by batteries.
Oh, wow.
So-
but it has like an ACN or...
ACN, yeah, you can, but you can put batteries in it. You can put your headphones in it. You can literally strap it to your belt, and then you're away.
Wait, so you're telling me
It's
if
not-
I had a copy of Pugsy on Mega CD,
Yeah.
I could put it in my multi-mega,
Yeah.
whack that onto my utility belt,
Yeah.
along with like my
Some kind of portable
bum bag,
television.
and just listen to the tunes.
You could be Pugsying on the bus.
Nice. Get his little walk cycle going while I'm listening to the music. Yeah,
Grand.
Pugsy is a really charming game. Like, I mean, Pugsy as a character is kind of gross,
Generic.
like such a weird design. But like everything about the game is really, really nice.
Yeah.
I was not like looking at the box art when you told me which game it was going to be for Game Club this week. I was like, oh, what is this? Because the artwork on the box is pretty, typical 90s.
Generic 90s, he's got sunglasses.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you then. Since British companies are renowned for making really good-looking character designs, how would the Pugsy cover art differ if it was released in Japanese territories?
Okay. So
I'm talking like a Kirby angry, Kirby happy kind of compromise. Like, so what would be changed if it was like a
The
Japanese?
eyes.
yeah,
It would have cutesy eyes with big pupils.
yeah.
Not kind of like the lazy stoned face that
No.
Pugsy has in the West.
Yeah.
What else? I think they'd probably be. What color is Pugsy? Pugsy's like
It's orange.
orange. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he'd have more friends. Like he'd have like little sidekicks, even if they didn't feature in the game. They'd just be kind of floating around.
I feel like he wouldn't be on the ground. I think he would be somewhere up
jumping
in the air.
in space, or
with his little headticles spinning round as a kind of copter.
Oh yeah.
Tails isn't in on the
Do those little nodules on his head function in any way in the game? Is there a reason why
they swing around?
Yeah,
they distract the player. Hypnotise.
That's the last boss. Like, can you make it to the end whilst looking at the swinging appendage?
Hypnotises a player saying, "Turn off the console. Turn off the console." Gotta use all your willpower. Just fight it.
So, do we know who is picking the Game Club game for next week?
I don't know. I haven't figured out a way to distribute work. I shouldn't call it work. It sounds like work. Distribute contributions to the site. So, at some point, maybe tomorrow night, I'm going to throw up a post just asking people to register their interest for writing our weekly features. So, we need someone on Monday to do Game Club.
Cool.
Somebody might already be interested in Monday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, top 5 Tuesday. Wednesday, we do our what do we do on Wednesday?
YouTuber of the week.
YouTuber of the week. Yeah.
And in case anyone's stumbled across this podcast without realizing, there's also the Retro84 Facebook group, which is kind of a home for retro-related content if people want to post up pictures of their collection or anything like that. But we also do features each day. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about the Game Club and things like that.
We're a multi-stranded corporation, just like the multiple strands on Pugsy's head. I'm just trying to find what we need people to do. So Wednesday, you said, was our YouTuber of the week. So just if you subscribe to a lot of people on YouTube like I am, mostly gaming related, just share one with the group. Thursday, we've been trying to do weekly polls.
Yep.
So just pick a subject. You have to do it on the website. Pick a subject and then have people vote on it. Fridays, we give stuff away for competitions. Mm-hmm. Saturdays, we record this, as we are doing now. And then Sundays is Retro Boot, which is kind of like, since we're not mainly about selling and buying, we kind of encourage people that if you've got anything you want to sell or trade, stick a picture up on the Facebook group, and then that's it. That's pretty much our week.
So like Sunday is our main selling day. That's the day when people post up, and
yeah, we're trying to get it that way. A lot of people go to car boots on Sundays, and a lot of people kind of just want to, if it's not something they're into but I think other people might like, just kind of flip it back on.
Yeah. Something as well I'd definitely like to encourage is if people have anything they want us to talk about on the show, any questions or anything like that, they should post them up either on the YouTube page or on the Facebook group, and just let us know, because it's always cool to get people who don't necessarily want to be on the podcast, get them involved with the podcast as well.
Yeah, we're happy to kind of take questions or suggestions about things we should be doing.
Yeah. I don't know whether you have anything else you wanted to talk about in regards to Pugsy, Patrick.
The glasses are cool. Sunglasses.
The glasses are. They're very 90s cool.
Are they as cool as Bart Simpson's X-ray specs?
Hey, they would protect him from one hit, though. Come on. Safety first. Have you seen the white trainers on Pugsy as well? They are absolutely stylish.
They missed a trick there, not having some kind of Nike or Adidas crossover.
Like
I think they missed a trick. I think.
I don't know any company that would want Pugsy as their mascot, really. Even Psygnosis.
I wonder whether Traveller's Tales have ever thought about bringing Pugsy back. I wonder whether they.
They made Sonic R.
Pugsy HD.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Sonic
that was Traveller's Tale.
Go,
Sonic 3D as well.
Wow, I didn't realise they had.
Oh, of course, yeah. I remember. I wonder where I'd seen that logo, but I remember seeing it on Sonic 3D and just
Sonic
thinking it was kind of bizarre.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic platformer.
Have you played Sonic R on the Saturn?
Yeah, I've got Sonic on the Saturn.
It's racing on legs.
It is racing on legs.
Well, to be fair, why would Sonic need a car?
Well,
Yeah,
clearly you did.
not going down this path, are we?
That's a good point, actually. Joe hasn't been seen since last week's podcast when he slagged off those Sega characters. The last person to see him apparently said he was being dragged away by guys in suits and dark sunglasses.
Yeah, he's
along
fine.
with a hedgehog.
He's fine. Aren't you, Joe? You alright? Yeah. He's doing alright. I did need a second player, so...
So, yeah, thanks for sharing Pugsy with us in last week's Game Club, Patrick. I seriously probably would never have picked that up, but really enjoyed the time that I spent with it.
It's an education for us all, this Game Club.
Yeah, definitely.
Testicles do exist. There we go. Lesson learned. I'm glad we had this discussion.
So I kind of wanted to start a new segment on the podcast. I don't know whether this will happen every week because it's rare that there's retro-specific news to talk about. But actually, with it being Gamescom this week in Germany, there's been a lot of interesting news coming out.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd talk about this. So, speaking of the Mega CD, I don't know whether you saw, but there's a Kickstarter that started up earlier this week.
Night Trap.
Yes. Night Trap revamped.
Yes.
Capital V, because it's vamped.
Love is easy in the night of day.
Exactly.
It's a tale in a way.
Quick, do your air guitar solo.
Night Trap.
Yeah. So they're asking for... I should have written this down. Yeah. $300,000.
Have a quick look.
But basically, Night Trap is another FMV game, and probably the most famous, I'd say.
Certainly the most controversial on the Mega CD.
Yeah, definitely.
Rating system.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if anybody's played it. Do you want me to briefly explain what Night Trap is?
Yeah, because I'm sure there will be people out there who haven't played Night Trap.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably quite difficult. I mean, I never played it originally on the Mega CD, but it was one of the games that came out with the boom of FMV-based consoles, the Panasonic 3DO, the Mega CD, the Philips CDI. I don't know, maybe there was on the Philips CDI version. There was mostly just FMV. The concept is you are in control of traps in a house and video cameras. So you have to protect various inhabitants of the house from these creatures that look a bit like the Putty Squad from Power Rangers. They sneak into the house. You basically have one or two buttons control over the action. So if like one of the augurs, the evil guys, comes into a room, there's a little bar that goes from red to green, and when it hits green, or maybe I'm opposite way round, you can trigger the trap and then dispatch that creature.
But because it's FMV, there's a real disconnect between your actions and what actually happens.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's just queuing up.
It's like any FMV game. It's just button pressing timing.
Yeah.
So if you're basically
Speed to
told
not
to press
die.
the button at a certain time, and if you don't, something happens. If you do, something else happens.
Yeah. But I mean, the reason that they say they're bringing the Night Trap re-release HD kind of version out is because the FMV capable systems at the time would have to compress them so small that you're basically looking at a bunch of pixels on the screen. Like it wasn't even full screen.
Unless you've got 32X and a Mega CD, then you can play the Mega CD 32X version of Night Trap, which everybody clearly had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say you'd managed to bring up the Kickstarter page?
The Kickstarter page, yeah. 330,000. Yeah.
Wow.
They've
How are they
got
doing so
20,000 so far. They've got 24
days
days
left?
to go.
I mean, they'll probably do. I think there's probably enough people out there who, whether it's for the right reasons, want to see Night Trap come back.
Did they mention what it's coming to?
Upon?
It's
What systems is it?
last gen consoles,
Yeah,
so
we've got
X360 and
PC
PS3,
here.
and as well as PC.
Mac. PlayStation, yeah.
But they have
Xbox.
some footage from the original shoots. So like it was filmed on film, and they've managed to get hold of those. And it looks all right. It's
Is it going to be
interesting
refilming any parts of it?
No, it's just the original footage being released in HD.
Because the funny thing about Night Trap, because it came out in different versions, there was a few bits that they refilmed that were console specific.
Yep.
So the SCAT team, who are the team responsible for sending you in to rescue the people.
Do you remember what that acronym stands for?
Strategic Camera Army Team.
I'm not sure that's right.
Anyway, there's a bit where you die, and there's also a bit where they introduce the way you're interfacing with the cameras, where they hold up the controller of the system that you're playing.
Yeah.
So on the Mega Drive version, they say, "This is your strategic camera action controller."
Yeah.
And
it's SCAC.
It's your SCAC. It's the only thing that's between them getting attacked and not getting attacked. And so the Mega Drive version had one, I believe, the 3DO, the whatever, all the systems.
I'm not sure how
many
systems it came out on, but.
Yeah,
so you're hoping that they're going to go and film like an Xbox 360 version.
Yeah.
That would be amazing, but
keyboard and mouse.
They could just crudely superimpose it over it. That would be enough, wouldn't it?
This is the Xbox 360. I mean, Patrick, would you purchase the Night Trap revamped remake?
I would.
I would too. I'd
do
probably,
laugh.
if it came to Steam, I'd go for it.
Yeah, I like to think there would be some added features though.
Yeah, I think they said maybe something about like behind the scenes stuff.
Because my big gripe with Night Trap is this: okay, it's really funny, but you can't watch any of it uninterrupted because if you're going to be playing the game well, and you have to play the game well in order to survive, in order to keep the game going, you have to miss out on like the song we mentioned, where the girls sing the Night Trap theme and play air guitar with a tennis racket and dance around to the radio. You can't watch that in its entirety without losing about 4 or 5 different augurs sneaking into the house at the time. So, and there is a lot of exposition, a lot of talking.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's to encourage, multiple plays through. I guess
it's replayability, isn't it? I guess.
The timing of the augurs coming in differs every time, so you potentially be away from different scenes.
No, I think it's always like I've seen walkthroughs of Night Trap where they list the exact times that certain events happen. So I think it's all exactly as it is.
So there's always going to be bits you miss.
I mean, it's probably possible to catch every augur, but you'd have to be noting down time codes and stuff like that. I mean, it's not a good game.
Well, in that case, for the special edition, I would like to see just the exposition chopped together as a special feature.
Just like a feature length.
Just so you can watch what was going on in the story, because it's so stressful to play.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever made it past, probably the Night Trap theme is about where I get to.
Yeah.
Every time. I don't know, Patrick, have you had any more luck?
Pardon?
Have you had any luck with Night Trap, or is it the same fate for you?
I haven't played it.
Oh, really?
Not played it. No, I've watched bits.
Yeah.
We have to have a Night Trap night sometime around Halloween.
Yeah.
Don't have to come in costume, do we?
There's one other thing I forgot to mention about the gameplay. It's kind of like the other mechanic of Night Trap, is that at some point in conversation, some of the families will go,
"Oh yeah,
change the security code from yellow to green," and then you get.
It's like an aside to the camera.
Yeah,
isn't
and
it?
they just no. Sometimes they just mention it to each other.
To each other, yeah.
And you have to be in the same room to listen to that, to know to change your own settings on the Night Trap security system. If you don't, every subsequent time you try to set a trap, it goes access denied.
Yeah.
So you have to swap it and know to listen. So. Yeah, you have to be pretty lucky to do well in Night Trap, or, as Dom said, memorize the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah. Which I bet there's people out there that would go to that length.
Yeah, like pro Night Trap.
Yeah. So, keeping on the theme of remakes, something that came out of Gamescom was the Resident Evil remake.
Again.
Remake of a remake.
Yeah, so this is an HD re-release of the GameCube remake.
And the Wii remake of the GameCube remake.
Yeah, true. And that is coming to current consoles, so PS4 and Xbox One, as well as PC. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't really have a huge amount to say for that, but the GameCube Resident Evil looked pretty good back in the day, so I imagine
I put the GameCube remake up with the first one, the PlayStation version. As I really loved it. I thought it was incredibly well done. I thought the graphics were really good. I mean, they re-recorded the voice acting, but they added a bunch of new features. In fact, they added a feature where the zombies, if you don't decapitate them, will come back faster and stronger and meaner. and you have to burn the corpses with a lighter
Right.
in order to stop them coming back. They call them like crimson heads or something.
Yeah.
So there was lots of really nice features, but it was a great looking game.
Yeah.
I remember just the character models look so sharp. And it's the same kind of fixed camera angles. They didn't go crazy. They didn't like make the whole thing into 3D. But
it'd be interesting to see how far they go with the remake. Whether it's just going to be like a straight up HD up-res, or if they're going to make it so the camera follows the character. I'm not saying I'd like that. I want it to be straight up. Just an HDified version. But I get the feeling that Capcom would be like, yeah, let's make it Resident Evil 5 controls. Like,
and I think they're just trying to wash their hands of what Resident Evil 5 and 6 have become, because they put themselves into this giant, probably quite expensive hole with Resident Evil 6, where it's just more and more epic. And I guess while they're figuring out what they want to do, this takes no effort to release. Probably gets them a bit of cash in the bank as well.
The fans back.
Yeah, Capcom really need to kind of figure out what they're doing with Mega Man and Resident Evil, and because they're both great series. But
and it seems at the moment with Smash Brothers, Nintendo's giving Mega Man a lot more love than Capcom ever has.
Do you remember on Smash Brothers where they always give you a single player mode?
Yeah,
and it's like side scrolling.
Yeah.
I would be so happy if they let you play as Mega Man in like a side-scrolling.
I think they will. Yeah,
like subspace emissary type thing.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Because not that was like the best game mode, but it's just like Mega Man's a platformer again.
Yeah.
And in HD and
So one little tidbit of news that was released about Smash Brothers, because it's only a couple of weeks now until the Japanese release of the 3DS version. Is that Europe? It hasn't been confirmed for the US or Japan, but I'm sure they'll get versions.
I'm getting Pugsy as a playable character.
Hey.
He's finally back in pop form.
Pugsy and Bubsy.
Oh wow!
Finally,
no,
they were replacing Ice Climbers.
the Euro platformer legends fight it out. Get top of the yarn ball.
Yeah, we're getting a Smash Brothers themed 3DS XL with all the fighters on the back, which looks awesome. I mean, it's nice to get another special edition 3DS.
If you haven't seen it, it's red with white and black and white kind of outlined characters, Smash Brothers characters, which I've seen some people criticize and said they would like them in full color, but I guess.
It's already pretty busy. Like, I feel like if you added all those colours on top, it would have been...
No Mega Man, though.
No, I guess that will be the starting roster or something. Like, Mega Man's probably going to be on Unlock. Because they only ever have, like, 8 or 16 characters to begin with, don't they, I think?
Pretty much.
Add a bunch more.
Do you think Capcom will add any other characters? Any specials? What about Uncle Scrooge?
Wow, that would be amazing. I don't think Disney would allow it, though.
I don't know.
I suppose that DuckTales remake came out, didn't it? So,
yeah.
I mean, that would be fantastic. Although, I don't know. I feel like, Mega Man was like, feels very close stylistically to the rest of the characters, but just to have like Uncle Screw in there would be, be weird.
Pogoing around and kind of...
I mean, his moveset would be good.
Yeah.
Like, but I just don't know whether thematically he would work. The same reason why I don't think Snake's coming back this time. As great as Snake was to have as part of the roster, like, it was just weird. Like, it was really strange.
Yeah.
And they picked, like...
It wasn't the first multiplayer fighting game with Snake in it,
No, that's true.
There was a Japanese-only release from Square or something. It was like a brawler kind of thing, very similar to Smash Brothers on Sony.
What's the company that does all of the big head baseball games in...
That's Konami.
Oh, it was a Konami fighting game then. Yeah.
That makes sense with the Snake connection.
Yeah,
we'll find out what that was and let people know. But as far as I remember, it was very Smash Brothers-esque, but it had Konami. It was Simon Belmont in there or something.
Yeah. A lot of...
we just dreamed it up.
No, that definitely...
Konami Smash or something.
Yeah. This has worked out perfectly. I didn't plan this, but actually a lot of Konami news this week as well.
Wait, the Konami news introduction.
So, I don't know. Me and Aaron don't have a PS4. But Patrick, do you have a PS4?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
So during the during the Konami press conference at Gamescom, they very nonchalantly mentioned the fact that a demo for a game called PT was releasing on the PlayStation Store. They just said it was a little horror game from an indie studio, and they didn't say much more than that. Patrick, did you ever get around to playing that?
No, I've not yet.
All right. Well, it turns out that they were lying. They were just barefaced liars. Because it was actually a teaser for the new Silent Hill game, Silent Hills.
That's what it's called.
It's called Silent Hills.
Silent Hills.
Silent Hills have eyes.
Yeah. And there's an actual significance to the S, apparently. But I can't say it yet because it will spoil the next part for people that don't know. And during the if you were to successfully get through to the end of the PT trailer, there was a little video that would reveal that it was Silent Hills.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as that, it was revealed that Hideo Kojima was somehow involved. But not only him, but Guillermo del Toro.
Wow.
Is involved. And it seems like the main character is going to be voiced, and the likeness of him has been lent by Norman Reedus, who's from The Walking Dead. He's I don't watch Walking Dead, but I guess like the hillbilly character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's like his face. It's quite clearly him when you see it in the reveal trailer.
Kojima should stop watching American television.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just stop playing actors in our games. Like.
Yeah. He's got. It seems like he's got a dartboard with like characters from 24, Walking Dead, and he's just like, I want that one. Yeah. I've got enough money. I made Metal Gear, goddammit.
But I'm not super excited about having, just a straight up celebrity in the game. But I'm really excited about that pair up. Like, if anyone's going to make a traumatizing horror game, it's going to be those two.
Yeah.
I don't think Silent Hill has been scary for a long time. But I don't have a PS4, but I've watched gameplay videos of the PT demo, and it was, I was nervous just watching it.
I have to watch this. When you did describe it to me, I've never heard anybody describe it as a game like a trailer being like scary.
Yeah. So the little teaser that they let people play takes place entirely in the hallways of a small American house.
Right.
Nothing particularly unusual, but basically once you make it to the end of a hallway, you loop back round to the start of the same hallway. So the whole game takes place in this loop of one hallway.
The whole game? Or
Yeah.
Just the trailer?
Of this demo, sorry, yeah. I don't know whether the demo will bear any resemblance at all to what actually comes out. But each time you do this circuit, something will have changed. And it starts out fairly subtly, like it gets a little bit darker or something like that. But very quickly it ramps up, and it's just like very psychological horror. I mean, there is like a couple of cheap jump scares in there as well, but it just everything about the sound design and like the way it looks just is traumatic.
Yeah, I have to watch this. Is it on YouTube? Is it available on YouTube?
Yeah. If you just search like PT demo playthrough, you can see. But after it was revealed that it was Silent Hills, Kojima did a interview with the Doritos Pope himself, Jeff Keighley, and they were talking about it. So Kojima, through a translator, said that the S in Silent Hills stands for scarier, and he said that with a completely straight face. So the S is for scarier, like it's a scarier Silent Hill. Also, he said that Konami said don't make it too scary because people won't play it, and Kojima said he doesn't want people to pee their pants playing this game. He wants them to poo their pants.
Sounds like a challenge.
No, he wants to make a game so scary people poo their pants.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure you can find that interview online because it's just so funny. I don't know whether like Kojima had a deeper explanation for the S, but his translator just straight up said it's for
sounds
scary.
like he just said what the S stands for.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I'm excited for it. Like I said, I don't know whether it'll even be anything like that demo, but if it's half as scary, it will be a pretty fantastic horror game. As well as that, Kojima also announced that Metal Gear Solid 5 is coming to PC, which isn't retro-related in any way, but I'm just excited for it.
It's going to be a cheaper option.
Yeah, and it will look better than
He's already
buying
got
a new
PC,
system.
he doesn't need to buy. Although it is coming out on PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah, but it's, pushing those systems pretty hard, so...
Well, I don't know, having played the PS3 version, I can't imagine that I'm missing out on too much.
No, that's true.
It's it looks amazing on PS3. And you can pick up that Ground Zeroes for...
Like £9 now.
Yeah, pretty cheap now if anybody wants to play something that looks like the best thing they played on their PS3.
So, he did also say that Ground Zeroes would be coming to Steam before the Phantom Pain releases. So it'd be interesting to see what the pricing on that is, because it was like 20 quid when it came out on systems. I don't think that's going to fly on PC. Like, he's going to have to...
At this point, you should just give it away for free.
I mean, that would be great, wouldn't it? It's like a little benchmark.
With pre-orders of the Phantom Pain, it should just... I mean, because it's barely a game. It's a lot of fun.
It's a glorified demo.
And it's a sandbox demo, and you potentially could get hours of play out of it. I mean, if you just play back... People think that the story of Ground Zeroes is just it, and then this lasted 10 minutes. I mean, I finished it in about half an hour. But then it's just a sandbox, so you can kind of have fun. It's a bit like GTA if you never tackle the story missions, which most people don't bother doing anyway.
I mean, I'm definitely going to pick it up. I guess you'll get it on PS3.
You're going to get it on Steam instead of PS3?
Yeah, I think so. My machine is more powerful than a PS3, so it's going to look a little bit better.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I don't know, Patrick, do you think you'll get around to picking it up?
We'll wait till the Phantom Pain, I think. Went around my friends, he had Ground Zeroes, so I've tried it.
You've probably experienced the whole thing then, playing it at someone else's house.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it. You can add custom soundtracks to the Walkman.
Yeah.
So you can basically just like have a good old time, and then I think I put the Gunsmoke theme from the NES game on there, and I was zooming around shooting people.
It came built in with the like, what was it, the Flight of the Valkyrie or something? What's that?
Yeah. You can
program
you can program the music that your helicopter flies into when it comes to rescue you, so you can have absolutely anything.
It's amazing.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I've got a couple of small news stories. It's actually this week, 14th of August, 1989 was the release of the Genesis in the US, making it 25 years this week. We've got another year to wait for Mega Drive to be 25 years old, because it came out a little bit later here than it did there. But I just thought
party ready.
Yeah. I guess actually 14th of August 1989 must have been the UK release, because that would be 25 years next year, is that right?
It seems like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Well, my memories of the Mega Drive,
Maybe that's the...
90 when it came out?
I don't know, I can't work that out in my head.
I never had one when they first came out. I knew people that had them. I was a Master System kid, die hard. My video gaming life went Master System, 286,
PS1,
PC, I guess, and then PS1. So I bypassed Super Nintendo, N64, Mega Drive. So
right.
I think probably after that revelation, I should step down from my position as admin of this group, I guess. But I think I've made up for it in later life. I've made up for it in later life with my.
I think I'll definitely put like the Mega Drive 25th birthday in my calendar, so we can do a little thing on the group, because I think that would be cool. But we've got like a year to go, so
I think I've got various Mega Drive collections on different systems. PS2 and PS3. Yeah.
And then my final news story is that the Pokemon trading card game is coming to iOS.
Yes.
So
really?
Nintendo confirmed.
Yeah. Third party
given up on
developers.
3DS, moving to iOS.
Yeah, so this is news that I believe only came out like last night. Essentially, the Pokemon trading card game, which you can buy the physical copies of, they are bringing a multiplayer version to iPad and iPhone.
There's a game you play with Pokemon cards?
That's all that's been announced. Basically, nobody knows what that entails. I think it was kind of like a leak that they eventually confirmed.
PokeLeak.
a PokeLeak, and nobody knows whether you'll pay for the app or the app will be free and then you pay for the card packs or how they're going to do it. Maybe they'll go down like a Hearthstone route with it. Like that's a free-to-play game, but you can play for card packs.
I don't understand having a card game minus the cards.
Because it's not even cheaper or anything like that. You can't pick up fakes. Like I had a fake Charizard back in the day.
Yeah, I guess so. Just remind me, I don't know if I said before, both Dom and I got a Pokemon-related item from Argos that turned out to be quite a bargain.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we talked about this on the group.
Go on.
The Facebook.
So, I think we posted up on the group for a while there. I don't know if they sell them anymore. They were selling the Pokemon Teachers Typing for the DS, DSi.
Oh, yes.
Which basically is the game and a really nice, high-quality Bluetooth keyboard, which is exactly the same size as the Apple Bluetooth keyboard. And it will work with absolutely anything, iOS, Bluetooth related. I've synced it to my Mac, my PS3, and it's really nice build quality. And it just so happened that it was being given away with a game that was on discount at Argos. In their minds, it's just a game, and it's an old game, and it's cheap. So,
I mean, the Pokemon typing game is pretty lackluster.
So for saying how good and how well made and how multifunctional this Bluetooth keyboard is, we paid $6.99, brand new, sealed. I think we bought 3 copies, didn't we? Just because I don't think you could find a Bluetooth keyboard that cheap of that quality anywhere else.
Okay.
It was like official Nintendo, and it was
just somewhat of a pokey loophole.
Yeah, that was a good pickup, good spot.
Yeah. If they're still available, they might be. I'd recommend anybody try and grab them.
I think we bought up all the last in our local store, but there'll be some in other Argoses, I bet.
Yeah, and also if you do see them, they're listed as $7.99 online. When you go into store to pay for them, they're actually $6.99.
Yeah, which is really weird.
So
it's almost like they're dissuading people from buying them, and like, all right, we'll give it for you $6.99. That was all for my news stories section. I just thought, I don't think we'll do this every week, but there was so much news on remakes and like, stuff that was specific to retro news that I thought that was something that would be worth talking about. I think probably we're close to wrapping up. I've definitely said everything I had to talk about this week. Patrick, did you have any final thoughts?
Pugsy has had testicles.
Just slowly go through all of Pugsy's anatomy and.
Well, that's what most of this discussion here on Facebook is.
Yeah. So I think we'll probably wrap it up here. Again, if people have anything they want us to discuss on the podcast, let us know. Any questions, any thoughts about Pugsy's anatomy, or anything related to the Games Club games, then let us know, because it'll be cool to talk about it.
Don't forget to vote Game Kid.
Yes.
Go on the Facebook group, click on Game Kid's thing, vote.
You will know.
You have to like to vote, but then you can instantly unlike again. So ignore all the warning signs about it's going to access your blah blah blah. Jump on there, like it, click vote. Go into your own profile and then find your likes. Click on that like and then click unlike straight away.
Are you getting, paid by Granger Games to promote this?
No, I just want to see your little
Is that a bag of money I can see in the background there?
Yeah, with the Granger Games logo on it.
Big pound logo, or stamped on it.
I want to see the little communist piece of beef jerky get through and appear on Granger Games.
Can we talk about this? I don't know whether we can discuss this. I'm sure it will be fine. Basically, during the process of me designing that, in fact, this might persuade some people to vote, actually. I kind of, my original concept was to draw like a sentient game box, like a case for a disc.
It started off with like being an open box.
Yeah, like a 3D slightly open box with a face. But I thought it would be funny to make him have a backwards cap on, because I kind of wanted him to be,
hey, that's cool.
Exactly. I was definitely taking
all the kids are doing it.
I was taking creative direction from Pugsy. and wanted him to be like a cool guy.
There were head
Need
decals
sunglasses,
underneath, but
mate.
he had to cover them up with a hat.
Yeah.
You need more sunglasses.
Yeah, but in the process, Aaron pointed out that it looked like a little, like a Chinese, like, communist cap. Like, and with the fact that the Granger Games colours are like an orange and a green, those are also kind of associated with...
It looks more red, really.
Yeah, they're close enough. So... He's kind of like a little communist mascot.
But he's no longer a game case either.
He's just a straight up...
I likened him to, Resident Evil 2, the bonus mercenaries type game.
Tofu.
He played as a chunk of tofu. But as tofu got more and more damaged, he got more and more red. So it looks like tofu that's been close to death.
Yeah.
With a little communist hat on.
And despite how it may look, I promise that's a thumbs up, not a middle finger. So I don't know. Yeah, if people can be bothered, like it, because it'd be cool to see like the Ainsley Harriet caterpillar be beat out.
Yeah, and
the blatant copyright infringement characters.
You were in on the ground floor, and you can always know the secrets of GameKid's origin.
Yeah, you are hearing the behind the scenes hard facts on GameKid, and it would be incredibly funny to see a character that looks like he's giving the middle finger on like promotional flyers for Granger Games.
Patrick, did the fact that he was flipping the bird was that apparent to you?
What's that? Sorry.
Does it look like he's sticking his finger up, or does it look like
he's got? It looks like he's got his index finger. He's like, wait.
Oh right, okay,
that's fine.
Wait, I steal
I'm
this
pretty
CD
sure we'll sneak under the radar if most
Yeah.
people don't realise.
Yeah, the Granger Games radar.
Yeah.
That's everything. So I think we'll wrap it up here.
Yep.
It's been great talking about games, and hopefully people have enjoyed listening.
Yeah, if you want to join us next week, let us know, because we are open to have more than 3 people, 4, 5, 10, 600.
The more the merrier.
Yeah, as long as you got a microphone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us, Patrick.
No problem.
Thank you for gracing me with the information that is Pugsy, because I genuinely did enjoy it, despite the fact that he is a monster.
Pugsy will be with you always.
Yeah.
Kill it with fire.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for sharing the Pokemon keyboard information with me.
Not a problem. I'm now going to go stare at my MTN 64 boxes.
Dreaming that you could play them.
I wish there was a game in here.
I mean, I've got my copy of South Park on the N64 that I can put in there if you want to pretend that you've got it.
That might help temporarily.
Everyone knows that was the real must-have game for N64.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'll be it. So I've said that 3 times now, but it's for real this time.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.